welcome back. In this vector tutorial, we're going to take a look at different chart resources we can use to take our trading to the next level. Let's go ahead and start by opening up a new chart. So we're going to go to the top of the menu bar, under Tools, and select New Chart. Let's go ahead and open up our screen. Now that we have our chart open, we can actually open up another by clicking this plus icon here. And then we'd search for a trading pair. So let's go ahead and search for Ethereum, USDT, and we'd click enter, and voila. For demonstrative purposes, and for this video, we're going to stick to the BTC USDT chart. So let's toggle back at the top here, like so. And in case you didn't know, each candle plotted here on the one-day chart is formed within 1 day. In other words, each day there is a new candle that is being formed on the one-day chart. Similarly, we could do the same thing with a 15-minute chart. So let's go ahead and type in 15 minutes, click enter. And so what does this mean? A new candle is formed every 15 minutes on this specific chart. Now, a really neat feature that we should take a look at is that when you hover over a candle, like so, we have key information about the crypto asset that appears, such as the opening price, the day's high and low, the closing price, financial volume, number of trades, quantity volume, as well as percentage change. We could also use other types of charts that take into consideration the variation of the price, but doesn't take into consideration the time interval, such as Renko charts. In order to plot a Renko chart, we would type in the time period directly on the screen, like so, followed by an R for Renko. And there it is. So let's double click. And as you can see, it's been plotted on our chart. We can notice that this graph is visually a bit different than our traditional candlesticks. And this is because its breaks are formed when there is a strong trend, since all other smaller price movements are filtered out. As a result, a Renko chart is useful in identifying trends as well as support and resistance levels. For more experienced traders, the Renko chart is also useful in determining the best areas on a chart to plot our stops. Now let's go back to our 15-minute chart. So we're going to go ahead and type in 15 minutes directly on our screen. And if we wanted to zoom out and have a greater view of our crypto pair's activity, we would simply press the minus sign on our keyboard like this. If we wanted to get a closer look at the crypto pair's activity, we could zoom in by pressing the plus sign on our keyboard like this. Now let's take a look at how to place an indicator on our screen. We can do so in one of two ways. First, we can add the indicator by searching for it directly on the chart screen. And secondly, we can click on the Indicators tab here. We'll go to Add Indicator, and the first indicator that we'll insert into our chart is probably the most commonly used indicator amongst investors, the moving average. So let's go ahead and type in moving average. You can also see that it's been recently searched for, but it's also one of the most popular indicators. So let's go ahead and double click here. We're going to add it directly onto our chart, and we'll put the number of intervals for the average to be 9, click OK, and finalize with OK here, and voila. So let's go ahead and zoom out in order to get a better idea of how the price of our crypto asset is trending. Now the next indicator that we'll take a look at is the MACD. We'll once again click on the Indicators tab up top here, scroll down to Add Indicator. Let's go ahead and search for MACD. And you'll notice that there are a few variations of the MACD indicator, including with a histogram, line, or a combination of the two. For demonstrative purposes, we'll use both. Let's go ahead and double click here. Let's go ahead and open up a new window and click OK to finalize. Now, if we wanted to exclude an indicator from our chart, we'd simply right-click directly on the indicator once it's highlighted, like this, and click Delete. We could also click on the indicator listed up top here, right-click, and delete as well. If we wanted to remove the MACD indicator at the bottom here, we'd scroll down all the way to the bottom of the indicator and press the X button to close it out. If we wanted to remove all indicators in one shot, we'd right-click anywhere on the screen, go to Remove Indicator, and followed by Remove All Indicators. We can also customize our indicator by simply hovering over it Wait till it's highlighted, right-click, and select its properties, like so. In this example of the moving average indicator, and under the Parameters tab, we could change the period of the moving average, the type, such as exponential, as well as the displacement. We click Apply, and we can notice that it's already been applied to our chart. Under the Appearance tab, we can change the style of the line, the color, as well as the thickness. Alright, let's go ahead and click OK. And the same customizations can also be made to our MACD indicator. So we go ahead and right-click on the indicator, access its properties, and here, as we have moving averages, we can change the time period of the intervals. We can go under Appearance, we can change the style, color, and thickness for both the line and the histogram. So let's go ahead and change the style. We'll change the color to fuchsia, increase the thickness. For the histogram, the style will remain the same. Color will be sky blue, and the thickness will be 2. We'll go ahead and apply and press OK. Now that we've taken a look at how to input and customize indicators on the charts, let's now take a look at how we can use studies in enhancing our ability to make the most informed investment decisions. We can access our studies at the top menu bar under Studies here. And on the right side of Vector, there's also a vertical toolbar found here, which allows us to access the exact same studies. First, we can use the price level line by clicking here and plotting it on our chart, like so. Secondly, we can use channel trend lines found here in identifying upside or downside breakouts by tracing out tops and bottoms of price movements, like so. One of the most sought after studies is the Fibonacci Retracements, which you can use by clicking on this icon here, followed by the magnet icon here to facilitate the tracing of our study by guiding our mouse to the tops and bottoms of price movements, like so. We can also customize the Fibonacci Retracement study by right-clicking directly onto it and accessing its properties. Here we can change the appearance, the amount of levels within the Fibonacci study, the positioning of the Fibonacci study, add alerts, as well as change the visibility by layout. So for example, we'll remove layout 3, we'll click Apply, and OK. Which means in layout 1, we have our Fibonacci study, in layout 2, we have one as well, and layout 3, it's been excluded. Alright, let's go back to our first layout, and in case you're not sure how to trace out Fibonacci projections or retracements, we'll leave a link in the video description below that will guide you step by step on how to use these study tools. We can also include trend lines by clicking on the study tool here. Uptrend lines and downtrend lines are widely used by big market players in assisting them in defining specific price support and resistance levels. So let's go ahead and trace out a uptrend line, like so. Change the positioning. And in order to exclude our studies from the chart, we'd right-click anywhere on our screen, scroll down and select Study Options, and we'd untick Show Studies, like so. We can also lock our studies. So we'd right-click anywhere on our screen, select Study Options, Show Studies once more, right-click again, Study Options, and Lock Studies. And as you can see, I'm unable to drag and drop our studies anywhere. Additionally, we can remove all studies within this layout by right-clicking, go down to Study Options, and delete all studies from layout 1, like this. You'll receive this warning, and then you go ahead and click Yes. And by clicking this icon here, we can ensure that any studies performed in this layout aren't duplicated in any other. So let's go ahead and select this option here. We'll go ahead and draw out our box plot, like so. And if we go to layout 2 or 3, we can notice that the box plot hasn't been displayed. We can also change the colors of our chart by right-clicking anywhere on the screen and accessing Chart Properties, where we can change the background color, the chart color, as well as the frame color, like so. Let's go ahead and change this to white, chart to sky blue and the frame to blue. We can also add and show our watermark here. Let's go ahead and click OK, and voila. Now if we accidentally delete our price indicator by taking off this X here, like this for example, we can actually have it re-added by right-clicking on the chart and click Insert Price Indicator. Then we just adjust our layout, like so. Now you may have noticed that the moving average has been removed from our indicator. We can have it added back to the chart by typing directly on the screen. So we'll type in moving average, like so, double click, add the number of periods, click OK, and there it's been added again. If we wanted to change the color of our candles, we'd basically double click on a candle, like so, go under the Appearance tab, change the color of the candles, click Apply, and then OK. Adding the visual book can be done by right-clicking directly on the chart once more and selecting the visual book, like so. We can also add the volume profile by right-clicking again on the chart and selecting Volume Profile. And pronto, you can now see the volume of market trades. As a day trader, you probably want to keep track of your performance by capturing data from the charts. You can input this information by, again, right-clicking on the chart and then scroll down and select Copy to Excel here. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and benefited from it. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends and family.